Chapter 5.
With a boom, boom, boom in my heart, you're always a part of me, always inside of me. With a boom, boom, boom in my heart, you're always a part of me, always inside of me.
Exterior. Hyde Park favelas. Evening. Floating through the narrow alleys, ramshackle shanty buildings and tight warrens of the favelas as rain batters down through a fading rainbow. We settle down upon a clearing where a police saucer has landed. Squadjutants unload crates of contraband booze, food and gadgets, supervised by Italian bombshell Mama Antonia Lavarini, 50, and her burly offspring Vito, 25, and Angelo, 22. A battered neon sign, long since broken, denotes the World's End Café. Through the slit windows of the cafe sits a dishevelled and thinner version of Farouk Fazal, the reporter from the Hale Vanity assassination. His big whiskers, eye bags and long hair betray a far less polished version of the network presenter. Interior. World's End Café. Evening. The only customer, Fazal, sucks on a cigarette and sips an espresso. He reads a battered paperback copy of The Catcher in the Rye while the saucer takes off outside. His fingers drum on a battered briefcase atop the table surface. Antonia returns to the cafe and he watches her sashaying behind the counter with a contented sway. She smiles at him. Interior. Storeroom of cafe. Evening. Fazal and Antonia copulate like awkward teenagers in front of a huge Italian tricolour. Angelo opens the door and spots them, shutting it promptly in disgust. They straighten out and Fazal produces the briefcase. Antonia coos and smiles. He looks at his watch.
This will take off another 10 years, baby.
Where do you get all this great stuff, Faz?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Don't be like that, I'm just curious.
I never reveal my sources, Bella Signora.
Blah, blah, open it, will you? I'm jonesing for some.
He obliges. Antonio coos at the contents. Interior, storeroom of cafe, evening. Antonia's eyes brighten in a more youthful glow as she injects a clear liquid into her neck. Her skin immediately tightens and she grows younger by the second.
Go easy on it. This is tricky gear to get hold of.
How long before it wears off?
3 months, but don't quote me on that.
I won't quote you on anything, sausage.
She finishes injecting, now more like 30 years old.
So what can I do for you, apart from the obvious?
Antonia winks at him. Fazal looks to the ceiling.
I heard you had a projector.
She laughs, a little nervously. Fazal glances at his watch again.
Just humor me, would you?
Tech is very illegal in the favelas, Faz.
So are nano-cosmetics, dear. They don't like commoners using the good gear. No offense.
I could lose my privileges.
Come on, you lose, I lose.
She sniffs and draws back the Italian flag. A crackly, hyperreal graphic appears. Life-size, upsize, normal. Fazal glances at his watch.
Time for the news, methinks.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
Shush now.
Fazal places a finger over normal and scrolls through some options to live news.
Live and hyperreal from London. This is the Evening News Bulletin with Farouk Fazal.
The clean, reporter version of Fazal appears in front of the scruffy version. Fazal sucks his teeth as Antonia shakes her head.
Non capisco. Perché?
A fashion parade of Vogue models streams past the fake Fazal and the two viewers. Muller follows on the catwalk to the rapture of fans.
super sweetness, I gorge on your gorgeousness, you gorgeous primates. Look at me, everybody.
Sweetly apes go uber bananas for mula couture, moderna, yeah. Look at him.
Welcome to the World Center of Folk Culture in Battersea, where today sees the winter collection from Sebastian Muller unveiled to his adoring public.
Everything halts. Fazal claws the air to sweep Muller out of his path and then circles his alter ego, gritting his teeth. A loud, guttural animal growl, scrambling footsteps, and Brontay's desperate scream. Bang! Interior, Dacha, day. Brontay is in a big pine bed. Rays of lemon sunlight strafe in from a giant bay window. A framed embroidery is on the wall opposite in Cyrillic Russian text. Dom, Millie Dom. Home, sweet home. Misha, the bear of a man from the forest, sits chuffing on a cornpipe, observing her slumber. A peaceful relief. Anya, 60, a neat and tidy babushka, enters carrying a tray of soup. Brontay stirs. Interior, Brontay's flat bedroom, day. She sits up.
Dreaming.
And sniffs the air. Cigarette smoke. Deconstructed man sits in an easy chair, smoking away like a steam engine, watching her.
You've been quite the little mystery, Miss Brontay.
Another figure emerges from the shadows. Moran.
Aye, that she has. A little lamb.
Brontay looks through the fourth wall, confusion reigning over her creased forehead. Interior, Dacha, morning. Brontay glances at her weird-looking host, grins with spaced-out blissful ignorance, and passes out. Interior, Dacha, morning. A bowl of borscht sits on a tray beside her. Anya strokes Brontay's shaven head in delicate passes. Misha perches in the bay window, weary of the visitor. Brontay stirs. Interior, Brontay's flat bedroom, day. No one home.
Brontay, here is your incoming mail. You have 3,824 messages. Message 1.
Simpkin appears.
Where the piss did you get to last night? Lexi, you there? You coming into work today? Lexi?
He vanishes and is replaced with another Simpkin.
Lexi, I'm really not being funny, but they're about to go in on your bum with no lubrication, love. Friendly warning, you need to respond to your messages. We had coppers turning up this morning and everything. I'll just state for the record that whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me.
He vanishes. A beat. He reappears.
Lexi.
Interior, bathroom, day. Brontay foams at the mouth in a ridiculous attempt to extract herself from the apartment as she pulls herself into a vent above the toilet. She's filled to the gills with an overwhelming surge of adrenaline. Deconstructed man picks his teeth in the doorway while Moran clutches an empty hypodermic, grinning at the results.
I think we've got its attention, don't you, Grayson?
Indubitably, boss.
Bag it and tag it then. Chop chop, sonny.
Deconstructed man shrugs and grabs Brontay by her ankles as she grunts and struggles to get through the space. With a sudden, violent yank, he brings her crashing down to the tiles, her jaw cracking against the sink.
Easy, son. Don't damage the evidence so we process it. Schoolboy shit.
Affirmative, boss.
Bag and tag. Come on. A bit more urgency, sunshine.
Okay already. How come I get to do all the donkey work? Shit.
Don't shit me, laddo.
Interior, Dacha, day. Brontay sniffs the borscht and glances at her hosts. She chuckles, not for a second believing that this is reality.
Oh, Kovo girl.
Misha sneers.
What's laughing boy's problem?
Anya puts a hand on her shoulder. Brontay casually shrugs away.
He does not trust Westerners, and he has good reason.
Miserable old fucknut.
Misha growls.
Did Joey Simpkin put you up to this? I've been stitched up, haven't I? I knew that ginger bitch in the bar was too good to be true. Fake tits, fake everything.
She looks under the bed.
Where is that silly little ball bag? Simpkin? You here? Oi! I'm probably late for work.
Upon uprighting herself, she recoils in pain, overcome by a rapid headache.
Eat your food and rest, sweetie. There will be time for explanation later.
Misha sniffs and mutters his first English words.
Take as much time as you like. Make yourself at home. We have endless time and resources.
Sarcasm is lowest form of wit, Misha.
A low rumble of distant explosions from outside. Brontay clutches her head as the headache subsides.
You two really are the Blitzkrieg, aren't you? Amazing coding. So real. And I usually know the difference.
She feels the texture of the blankets.
Yeah, just excellent engineering. Really. Compliments, Bart.
Brontay claps. Anya and Misha frown at her odd behaviour.
Oh, this headache, though.
Misha shakes his head, knocks the ash from his pipe out of the window and gazes out with a 1,000-yard stare. He sees a plume of smoke rising with the sun in the far distance. Anya tucks Brontay in and offers her a spoonful of borscht. She smiles, going along with the ride.
Are we done? Can we switch this off now? I'm really sure I must be late for work.
Eat.
Exterior, West London, day. Deathly quiet on the surface. Devastation and ruins everywhere. Hard light beams up from cracks in the ground. The Adler cruises along the perfect road surface, silent and light as a ghost. No traffic lights, no other cars, a private highway. Interior, Adler, day. Hardiman sleeps as John Ford's The Searchers plays out in a crudely rendered 3 dimensions, the landscape of the desert and John Wayne on horseback dissolving into the plush exterior of the limousine. Mannycapra sits serene, lord of all he surveys outside. He switches his view to the sleeping Hardiman and shakes his head with a resigned sigh.
Naughty boy. After everything.
Exterior, Chelsea Dome, day. The Adler pulls over and Hardiman stumbles out like a drunk. He motions to speak to Mannycapra, but the rear passenger door slams shut.
How very rudely doodly.
The car zooms off with a sudden urgency. Hardiman eyes his home, hands on hips. He whistles like a cowboy summoning his horse. The Harley rides itself and parks in front of the entrance.
No sleep till Brooklyn. Let's party.
He hops on the chopper. Alpha, the audio assistant, pipes up.
Valentina Di Firenze and Sebastian Mueller have a small gathering in their Battersea garage, sir. Platinum access only.
Good. No pun life. Me like see. On your way, Charlotte.
He snaps on his aviators and takes off at full pelt. Interior, Adler, day. Mannycapra strokes the cheek of the rendered version of Hardiman as he climbs on the bike seconds earlier.
Good. No pun life. Me like see. On your way, Charlotte.
I'm going to miss you, you silly little tart.
As the bike rides off, the projection stops. Mannycapra slumps back in his seat. Exterior, Hampstead Homestead, day. The Adler pulls up into the grounds. Interior, boardroom, day. Mannycapra sits himself down by the fire as Guinness serves him brandy. He contemplates a chess game on an ornate table in progress.
Will that be everything, sir?
Philibert Jameson.
Very good, sir.
Mannycapra observes the Andy Warhol soup can above the fireplace.
Do you think I should get rid of it?
Shove it up your arse for all I care.
Interior, default space. The room dissolves to black. The only light is emitted by Mannycapra himself, the chess table, and Philibert Jameson, a 90-year-old version of Mannycapra standing over him, where Guinness was seconds ago.
What are you? The Grim Reaper?
Rather apt.
Sit.
Jameson sits opposite and contemplates the game.
Have you moved the pieces? Cheating?
Give over.
Mannycapra moves his rook and punches his clock.
How's the tumour? Or tumours?
You should know. You arranged them.
Yours is a very complex algorithm, Philly.
Don't call me that.
A double helix graphic dances in front of them.
Based on our genome pattern, if allowed to run its course in the early 21st century. And you refused chemotherapy. Stubborn old bastard.
Jameson counters with his queen and punches his clock.
Why do you torture me with extinct diseases and such poisonous, narcissistic drivel? Why don't you just end me?
Mannycapra sweeps off Jameson's queen and punches his clock.
Where's the fun in that? Who would humour my planet-sized ego?
Anyone in my place. Anyone.
I like your impression of Marley's ghost.
Guinness drags his chains along an invisible stone floor in character as Jacob Marley.
I wear the chain I forged in life, replied the ghost. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it.
Guinness vanishes.
Should I forever be the plaything of a 250-year-old man-child?
Mannycapra emits a tombstone grin and slaps his forehead with the back of his hand in a woe-is-me expression. In retribution, Jameson sweeps off Mannycapra's knight and punches clock. Mannycapra nods. Surprised at Jameson's counterattack, he glances over to observe another version of himself several feet away, bearded and in casual gear, playing chess with a 5-year-old boy. Jameson, child.
Too many games have been played, Manny. Surely you must be bored by now.
The alter egos vanish and Mannycapra returns to the game.
Boredom is the enemy, I'll concede. I've yearned for a spot of betrayal. A challenge, interior or exterior. Now.
He removes Jameson's bishop and sits in checkmate. Jameson knocks his own king over, pissed off.
Now it looks like it is finally happening. How do you like them apples?
Jameson leans back and snaps his fingers. Guinness returns in butler form and hands Jameson his drink on a silver platter. Jameson drains and returns it immediately.
Well, whoop-de-fucking-do for you.
I thought you'd be happy for me. Bitter child.
Swish me off. Please.
Nope.
Jameson gurns disappointment and struggles to his feet, pulling on a flat cap and scarf.
This is torment. I'm in hell.
How can you be tormented? You were an algorithm. Silly old man.
You really think I'm not feeling this? Don't break your own dream, Manny.
Good point.
Mannycapra settles back in his chair, tired.
Well, go if you're going.
The chessboard has returned to starting positions. Jameson glances down and grunts before sitting back down. He shoves a pawn along one space and punches clock.
Your move, bright boy.
The future is. Hail folk, hail vanity, hail you. More episodes soon. Subscribe.